All right, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and great men of great millstone. Peace, salutations unto hopeful elect. Lord willing, I am Yahweh, simply that. All right, and this will be a quick and short PSA or public service announcement, Lord willing, if you will, which I will include as an introduction before my latest video plays. All right, and that is regarding a very important discovery on YouTube a few weeks back, only a few weeks ago, just before October ended, right? Uh, Dabu7 or Dabu77 on his channel, he posted on his channel, all right, a video regarding new zoomed in images of 3IATLAS, all right, and those zoomed in images revealed what you see right there on the far right of the screen, all right, which appears to be an angel, all right, a so-called Negro with an afro. And Dabu himself said, you know what I'm saying? He himself said that it looks like an afro on the image of what appears to be a drawing or simply a symbol. All right, all right. But anyway, to make this quick, the point I'm trying to make is, all right, this video that you see on the screen here is from Apostle Elder Tahar. All right, Dabu 7, he was the first one to really post a video regarding that image. All right, and I remember first seeing that video and was quite impressed by it. And and then I saw that Apostle Elder Tahar followed on his channel. Uh, his channel, Apostle Elder Tahar, what is the 666 Mark II GMS Truth? All right, so he did his own take on it. Okay, the bottom line is when you go to Dabu 7 channel now, all right, I'm gonna go to his channel real quick. All right, when you go to his channel, this is his channel right here, Dabu 77. All right, okay, the guy with the shades right there. All right, and these are some of his old videos. All right, and they go back 2 months ago now. I'm gonna scroll up, way up to the latest videos. Okay, scrolling all the way up. All right, these videos are from a month ago. I think going back to September. All right, okay, scrolling more up. 4 weeks ago now. These videos here are from 4 weeks ago. All right, all the way to the latest, going up to the latest videos, the very latest videos. I'm going all the way up now. There you go. All right. The latest videos of Dabu 7 or 77 are from 2 days ago, 2 hours ago. The one on the left, trying to predict a stock market crash, whatever. But there's no sign on his channel, no sign of the video that he did regarding the zoomed in image of the young man with the afro. All right, I just thought I'd bring this up real quick. There is no video there. He removed it, or perhaps he was advised to remove it. All right, I just thought I pushed that out there so that whoever's watching would know that I know. All right. I was the first one to see that video of his, and I appeared to be the first one as well to have discovered that the video ain't there no more. All right, now going back to Apostle Elder Tahar's channel. All right, what he did was what he either downloaded the video or he just played it off of YouTube. All right, I bet that's what he did. But if I could just hold on, if I could just blow up this image real quick. All right, I'm turning it to full screen now. All right, I'm turning it to full screen. All right. And the original title, the original video that Dapu 7 had posted only a few weeks ago was entitled, all right, okay, it was entitled, all right, 3IATLAS newest image shows crazy looking features, depth star type image with centaur, all right, something to that effect, all right. But that was the original title of the original video. All right. The point blank is the video ain't there no more. All right. It ain't there no more. All right. So Esau, the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? He sure has a way of trying to suppress certain information that the people need to know. He's very good at it. All right. He's trying to suppress this information. Hey, half the world already knows about that already. Half the world already knows. So what's the point in you removing the video now? What's the whole point of on that, man? All right. All right. So there you go, man. That this man is the devil. He enjoys suppressing shit. You know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd make quick mention of that. You know, those of you that are more interested, go to the great Apostle Elder Tahar's channel. What is this? What is the 66 Mark II? What is the 666 Mark II? All right. What is the 666 Mark II GMS Truth? All right. Go to his channel, check the video out, and download it while you still can, because they might even, hey, these devils might even dare and delete this video off of his channel too now. All right. If they did it with Dabu 7, they could do it with anybody else that bears that image. All right. So once again, this was just a short PSA announcement. All right. On with the video. Shalom. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakadash, double honors unto the great and diligent elder brothers of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations unto the hopeful elect, Abaratasa, Lord willing. Once again, I am simply the little brother Yawasap, simply that title. And tonight's lesson, Lord willing, will be entitled Signs in the Heavens, 3IATLAS. All right. That's why I started reading the book of Luke, the 21st chapter and the 25th verse. All right. And, because these are the times where, Yahweh Shai is making it gradually known throughout the planet Earth the eminent signs of his second coming. All right. And this so-called 3IATLAS thing is still pretty much in the news. All right. And it's still pretty much making waves. All right. Throughout the month of October, it kept revealing itself more images. All right. As I pulled up the YouTube video here. All right. The YouTube video of a brother. All right. From his channel, and a few other brothers have already, including one of the elders, mainly Tahar, has already done videos concerning uh, this image that was zoomed in by one of them outer space drones or cameras that the white man has set up in outer space. From he has satellite images. He has satellites way up in space. All right, around planet Mars and all that. Okay, and one of the most vibrant images that it recently caught, as you see on the video here, is that of what appears to be obviously an angel. All right, it appears to be one of the archangels. All right, it's basically a man with an afro. All right, and I'm gonna try to enlarge the video here. Make it blow up the screen so that those of you that might be watching have a better look. All right, but it's the image on the far right. Okay, the image on the far right on this video very clearly shows, all right, the image of a human-like figure, and that has to be one of the angels, man. All right, clearly a so-called Negro with an afro. All right, and the funny thing is, before I did this segment, I tried searching out that image on so-called Google images, all right, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find anything related to it. All right, I kept typing 3i Atlas face or 3i Atlas face image or 3i Atlas I kept typing, uh, anything that had to do with that image specifically. I couldn't find, and it's quite obvious why so-called Google Images try to hide that image, man. All right, But like the old saying goes, you can run, but you can't hide. All right. Okay. The image you could still find it on you could still find it on YouTube. All right. It seems to be the only place that a person could find it, this image right now. And Dabu 7, he was one of the first to make a comment on he was the very first one to do a video on this image here. All right. And this goes back maybe a week or two ago, right? So there it is, the blow up image. All right. The computer, the demons were making the computer run slow a little while ago. But there is the blow up image on the far right. All right. On the very far right, you can see that it appears to be a colored man with an afro. All right, and that colored man with an afro appears to be in a somewhat how should I put it? It appears to be uh, I could be wrong, I could be right, but it appears to be in a somewhat combative position. That's the term I was looking for. It appears to be combative. You understand what I'm saying? It appears to be in combat form. All right. It appears to be in warrior form. All right. And it is basically saying to Esau white man, look, here I am. I'm ready to kick your ass. All right. That's basically what it's saying. All right, that is the message that it's delivering to the whole planet Earth right now. They are coming. All right, we are on our way. Okay, that's the whole point I'm getting at. Okay, because the Most High can also have a unique sense of humor. All right, right now the so-called white man must be terrified at seeing these images, all right, especially the wicked elite, Rothschild and company. In case one of you might be watching, you should be you should be afraid. You should be very afraid, man, because your reign of tyranny and terror on this planet Earth, its days are coming to a close, man. They're coming to a close, and that's what the angel image and that picture is telling you. That is what it's telling you. That they are on their way to kick your ass, man. They are on their way to bring you and your society down. Okay? That's the whole bottom line here. You take a good look at that image, and and not only shows you a face, it shows you the arm and the position that it's in. All right, and anyone with a spiritual mind should pick up immediately where I'm getting that the image appears to be in a warrior combative form. It's ready for combat. That's basically what that's saying. All right. And anyone that has a clear spiritual right mind should pick up the right away what that image is saying. It all right. This is not a question of using my imagination or trying to make up shit. No, I am going by. I'm trying to go by what the spirit is telling me of what of the kind of position the image is in that picture, man. Okay, does that image suggest that the angel is smiling? Does it suggest that he's coming in a friendly form on this planet Earth? It is suggesting otherwise, man. And you take a good look at that image, and it appears to be, once again, I'm going to use the term combat form. It's combative. It's letting Esau and his government and his military know that they are ready. They are on their way. Okay? And NASA, so-called NASA, has already been put on high alert, on red alert over that image right there. Okay? That they have been put on red alert, man. Okay? So this is one of the signs. This is one of the many signs of of Luke, the 21st chapter that I just read. Okay? And there shall be signs in the heavens, all right, and men's hearts failing them for fear. Okay? So Rothschild and Company, okay, the Rockefeller, okay, you think you're going to succeed all the way with your so-called New World Order and try to enslave all humanity, especially the elect people of humanity, of the Most High, the chosen of the Most High under your New World Order. All right, you're not going to succeed all the way, man. You must be trembling right now. You should be trembling. Because that's what that image is suggesting right there. That is what it's saying. All right. That is not just any other image right there. It's an image that appears to be in combative mode, man. Okay. I'm gonna repeat that again. It's in combat form, man. It's ready for battle. It's ready to engage in war. Okay. This so-called white man is down here on the planet Earth already declaring war on so-called American citizens and throughout the rest of the whole entire globe, man. He's ready for war. Okay? So the angels themselves are ready for war. That is clearly what that is clearly the subliminal image, all right, that the angel is showing you right there, man. All right, so I'm gonna try and exit the full screen now. All right, and I got a couple of more scriptures lined up, Lord willing, but for first I'm gonna play a little bit on this video. All right. I'm gonna play a little bit on this of this video, our Lord willing. All right, and I think there's another video by Redacted. Redacted, the white folks that do Redacted on YouTube. They did a segment on 3IATLAS about a day or two ago. I might play a little tiny bit of that. I might do that, or look up an article, the latest on Free Atlas. All right, and let's just get right to the bottom of it, man. So here we go. All right, I just hit the play button. Let's just give it. All right.
The so-called black people type hair with the afro hair sticking up, and even the people in the comments, they're acknowledging it too. And the person here, he acknowledges it as well. Right? Now he attempts to try to make a comparison with I believe, another drawing of a false god, but which I definitely believe that. That's what he was talking about. If you just go look at the videos by Boo77 up there, top left, he tries to compare it to like a drawing of a false idol, right? Which which we know that all those idols and false gods are false, but what it looks like to a lot of people is it looks like a person with an afro, right?
Thing. It's got two arms off the top. It's got the wing coming off the back, and it's got a perfect head with eyes, nose, mouth features, and ear feature. It looks like almost like an afro. Is what it looks like to me. He's looking back.
All right, see, you heard that? This man even admitted that it looks like an afro. A man with an afro. You see the face set up perfect, looks like a head. This is some amazing stuff, man. This is really groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? This should be something that should make people, especially, with the scriptures lining up and everything going on, but, the Lord showing us stuff like this, that there's power in the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And I got faith that this is something from the Most High, you know what I'm saying? This so-called comet that they're tripping off of, which I believe is a chariot, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this shows that we're close to the end. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like this that happens, and it's talked about in the news. Now it's not really too big in the news, but you know what I'm saying. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna let this blow up too much, but they definitely got it on film.
It's like
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it now. The brother is right. They're not really blowing too much. They're not gonna blow too much on it, for the simple fact that the image is clearly that of a so-called a so-called colored being, a Negro man. Okay, the niggers, the spicks got the power, man. Okay, the people, the chosen people of the power, the people of the true power, so you can understand. As I mentioned earlier, I tried seeking that very image on Google, and for some funny reason, I could not find it. All right, I could not find it, man. All right. Now, right now, for edification's sake, I'm going to try and seeking that image again. Let's try one more time. This time, I'm going to do it with whatever audience might be watching. All right. So I'm going to go to Google. Okay. Okay. So I'm on Google already. All right. And all right. Okay. So here we go. We're on images now. And I'm going to type NASA. Okay, NASA image of 3I Atlas. All right. Okay, you see what I'm talking about, right? I'm going over. I'm going over. All right. You see all these other images here, except of the angelic figure that I brought forth, that I was able to bring forth on the YouTube video. You can see for yourselves what I'm talking about. All right, NASA image of NASA image of NASA image of face and um, 3I Atlas. Okay, so as you can see, all right, nothing. Okay, they're trying to hide that. Okay, this is so-called Google images right now. All right, there is no reference to the angelic image on so-called 3I ATLAS. Okay, this is so-called Google images. All right, and they try to hide that from you. All right, and and there's the smiling white man. That's all you mainly see there. Basically saying you can't see that here. All right, that's all right. That's cool. We have it on YouTube, man. We have it on YouTube. All right, you just saw for yourselves on YouTube. All right. Okay. So now, without further ado, all right. Let's look for the latest update on this so-called Free Eye Atlas thing. All right. And we're going to move on to the scriptures. All right. Let me just type 3i Atlas uh, update. Okay. 3i Atlas updates today. Let's see what we get on that. Okay, so the very latest on it, I'm looking for the very latest now. Okay, there we. I'm gonna go to New York Post. Okay, on the right on the screen right here. Okay, on the lower on the second on the second article on the right side of the screen from New York Post. It reads possible alien spacecraft. 3i Atlas makes unusual shift. All right, so let's read a little bit of that. All right, and this is from a day ago. So that's the very latest on it. All right, let's just read a little bit on it. All right, okay. Okay, I'm trying to get the article. All right, here we go. Possible alien spacecraft. Okay. 3i Atlas makes unusual shift while hurtling towards the sun. Okay. From the New York Post, published on so-called Halloween, October 31st. All right. It says here, it flew too close to the sun. And I'm going to read a little more of this fascinating article. Manhattan-sized comet 3IATLAS allegedly executed an unusual maneuver while approaching the sun earlier this week, fueling theories that it could be, all right, the devil, the so-called white man, blocking, blocking the page, okay? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, all right? As the Apostle Paul wrote, okay, in the book of Corinthians. Let me just try and close this madness here. All right. So I'm going to read. Yeah, all right. Make the page unresponsive all you want. Lord willing, we're going to conclude reading this shit. All right. Manhattan-sized comet 3I Atlas allegedly executed an unusual maneuver while approaching the sun earlier this week, fueling theories that it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft. In a recent blog post, Harvard scientist Avi Loeb cited a report from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which he claimed provided the first evidence of a non-gravitational acceleration by the celestial body. All right. Okay, I'm going to read just a little more. It reportedly displayed set behavior while approaching known as a peri, per, per, as a perihelion. Loeb noted that while most comets get a slight boost, an event known as the rocket effect, 3I Atlas approach. Okay, now that's all I'm reading on that. You know what I'm saying? The more I try to read, the more the demons slow down this damn browser here. All right. You can try looking this on yourselves, whoever is watching, on Google. All right. Just type the latest on 3i Atlas, and you should get articles like these. All right. But basically, the once again, I'm gonna bring out how they try to hide, the angel's face that they zoomed in on the so-called comet a few weeks ago, right? And they try to hide that, man. But hey, too late. Most people know already. All right, Dabu 7. All right, him being a so-called white man. At the end of the day, he might be a Jake. He was the first to report on it. All right, and then Apostle Elder Tahar followed, and a few other brothers like the one I just played a little while ago also followed. All right, so I'm gonna try and close this madness of all right. I'm gonna try and close this window now. Okay. Let's just close this madness here. I already got the Blue Letter Bible handy. All right. On the other browser. Let's just pull that up. And we're gonna go straight to the scriptures now. Lord willing, and finish on that. All right. Okay. All right. So we're back on Luke 21 and 25 real quick. All right. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. All right. So right now, this so-called 3IATLAS phenomenon, all right, the so-called white man and his great so-called scientists and even NASA are not sure what to really make of this thing. And if they do know by now, they're not going to share it they're not going to share it with the world. All right? Like that very face, the angelic face, all right, and combative form, as I call it, that NASA was able to zoom in a couple of I think a few weeks ago, right? Like around a week or two a week or two ago before October ended, they captured that image. All right. So basically, that is one of the signs in the sun. Okay, the so-called comet itself or spacecraft just recently passed by the sun, as I read a little while ago. Okay, so verse 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. All right. So a lot of supernatural stuff is getting ready to come to this earth, man. Okay. So you best better believe and get ready for that. The angels are gonna start manifesting themselves a lot more, and I can almost bet not just aboard them spaceships. All right. That they might even appear physically before people. And there have been reports out there already of people witnessing 7 foot beings, I think, in their backyard or something. There was an incident that happened in Miami about a year or two ago already, about a 7 foot being spotted somewhere in Florida. All right. If memory serves, it was a year or two ago. All right. And this happened in Miami, man. Okay. These 7 foot tall beings are gonna make themselves manifest a lot more, man. All right. And once they fall out the sky, once they really let themselves know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's game over. It's game over for all these wicked rulers, but proudly ruling the earth right now. The DJ Trump and all that. Okay, Rothschild and company. Game over, man. All right. Okay, so once again, men's hearts falling them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Once again, a lot of supernatural stuff. Okay, beings from another world. Okay, so-called extraterrestrials, the angels, the Lord Himself is coming back as a super angelic being, man, a supernatural force. That there is no way on earth that this so-called white man and his military or even his AI could defeat and bring down these supernatural beings, man. Okay, they're in a no-win situation, man. All right, the book of Second Esdras tells you that in the 13th chapter. All right, Second Esdras, the 13th chapter. I could bring that up, but you know what I'm saying? You can try looking up for yourselves. It's in the Apocrypha, Second Esdras, the 13th chapter. That's basically the how should I put it? How should that's the war in heaven scripture right there, aside from mention in Revelation the 7th chapter and the 12th verse, if I'm not mistaken, all right? And there shall be war in heaven. Michael and the angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels. All right. So when it tells you stuff like that, it ain't really talking about a dragon like Godzilla. It's talking about this man in power right now and his military. That's what that's talking about. All right. Okay. And the side, a whole bunch of unexplained, unprecedented situations. And hey, expect Leviathan, all right, the real Godzilla, to make itself known on the planet Earth, man. That's right. A giant beast coming out of the damn sea, man. All right. You think I'm making shit up? The Bible also makes reference to so-called Godzilla, aka Leviathan, man. Okay, the book of Job, okay, the book of Genesis. All right, I could go into that. All right, okay, but you can ask the very elders and apostles of Great Millstone, any other brother on YouTube, they'll tell you, man. They'll tell you right away. Yeah, that brother was right there. He ain't making shit up. All right. So expect all of this to take place in these last days, man. Okay. What once this once this so-called white man Esau, that's his real biblical name in the Bible. He's known as Esau. All right. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. That's why he's called Esau, man. Genesis 25:25. So he is really red by nature. He only calls himself white. So once this so-called white man, all right, begins to suppress humanity to accept that digital microchip, all right, to accept that mark on their right hand or forehead, all right. Right after that, you can expect World War III. You can expect all the worst to take place right after that prophecy is fulfilled, man. Okay? When people are going to be forced out of their homes, okay? No longer being able to have any ties to this society, okay? And no man may buy or sell lest he or she may have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. Okay. So Lord willing, those of the elect and remain faithful are going to have to basically detach from this society, man. Because that's what this so-called white man is getting ready to do. You all right? To make outcasts those that refuse to accept that mark, man. All right? And once that whole thing takes place, that's when all the real worst is gonna yet happen. All right? These monsters, these real life monsters coming out of the sea, all right? The Lord Himself finally cracking them clouds open, his elect men receiving spiritual power and become as angels. All right. So expect to see all that, man. All right. That's why the scripture is saying what it's saying. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right. Verse 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man, that so called Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahushua, coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Okay? So there you go. And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahushai, come return triumphantly on this white man's stolen planet Earth with power and great glory, man. Okay? Revelation 1 and 7, if I'm not mistaken. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. All right? Okay, so the Most High is the ultimate show off, man. And he's sending his son back up here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, super bad, man. All right. I have no other words to describe. You know what I'm saying? The Lord had his people come over here, very very humbly in slave ships. All right, but upon his return, they're going to go back in style in on spaceships. Okay, they're going to go back. The Lord is coming back with style, and he's going to raise his people back up, his select people back up in style, man. You want to talk about style? You want to talk about fashion? Wait till that day unfolds, man. All right, because the Lord is gonna he's going to deck his men real bad, man. All right? The elect will be completely decked out. You understand what I'm saying? Really decked out. Okay? I mean super decked out, man. And with powers at that, man. Okay? Okay? Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Psalms the 110th chapter, if I ain't mistaken. All right? Okay, so expect all of that to happen, man. All right, the Lord is going to turn His men into gods in that day. All right, all right. His elect men are supposed to be gods on this earth, man. Right now, everybody's thinking the white man is God. Yeah, he's God, all right, for a short time being, all right, with his little stroke of a pen and his little great money in the bank, all right, all them riches that he got, which he basically stole from us as a people. All them riches that he got don't really belong to him, man. They were stolen. So that's his current power right there. That all that money that he stole, all right, his little stroke of a pen and push out a so-called new executive orders, all right, and new rules and new regulations and new mandatories, okay, all right. That's his current power. The power that the elect men of the Lord are going to get, the power that they're going to get is far greater, is far different, is far superior than the power that the so-called white man boasts about right now. We're talking spiritual power, man. All right? Spiritual power. All right? And the scriptures talk heavily on this. All right? But that's really another subject. All right? So, Lord willing, I'm going to focus on this here. Now, I just read Luke 21, right? Let's go to Psalm 68 as a quick precept and reference. Psalms, the 68th chapter. All right? Let's go there real quick. Okay. Psalm 68, and I'm going to read the 17th verse. All right. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. All right. So there you go. All right. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So the Lord is coming back with literally a super army of angels. All right? You got Esau here boasting about his little military. All right? They boasting about his little military might. Well, hey, real military might is yet to be seen. All right? Real military might is yet to be manifest. And it will unfold, man. Okay? The chariots of the Almighty are 20,000, even thousands of angels, man. Okay? Thousands and thousands upon other warriors, so you can understand. Warriors, the angels are really warriors of the Most High, man. They're not just messengers. They are celestial men of war as well. As much as the Lord Himself is a man of war, mentioned in Exodus the 15th chapter, the Lord is a man of war. Okay, all right. You got this little white man here, the head of the new head of the Pentagon, I think, boasting about war. All right, and talking about a fuck around and FAFO, something like that. All right, a fuck around and find out, right? Hey, fuck around and find out with the Lord so you can understand. And them 7 foot tall angels coming on the way, man. All right, you fuck around and find out about that. All right. Plain and simple, man. Okay? All right now. Uh Habakkuk. I'm gonna go to Habakkuk now, all right? Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter. Let's see if I may find that here. That's really in the Apocrypha. Let's see. Nope. All right. All right. So this is Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter. And I remember Yeah, seems like yesterday. Way back in 1995, that's when the Lord first introduced me to this truth. All right, there was no such thing as YouTube then. All right, I started learning this way back then on the public access channels while living in Manhattan on cable TV. All right, and this was one of the first scriptures that was exposed to me regarding so-called UFOs, and I started picking up real quickly and understanding better why why these UFOs were always mentioned. All right, why they were all why people were always seeing them. I began to understand, and everything started making a lot more sense to me way back then. It's a shame that not everybody else is able to pick up and react the same way. All right, but because as even the very elders, of Great Millstone would tell you, it was not meant by the Most High for certain other people to pick up on this truth. Plain and simple, man. All right. You either pick up on this truth or you don't, and that's that, man. But here it goes. Habakkuk 3:3. God, so-called God, came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Perah, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. All right, his glory covered the heavens. That's talking about the Lord's second coming, how he's coming back to the planet Earth. All right, okay, on giant sized spacecraft. This so called 3IATLAS thing, that, you know what I'm saying? It could be a spacecraft. It could be a chariot, man. All right, it could be a chariot. All right. So hey, this whole 3i Atlas thing, it ain't going away anytime soon. That's why I chose to do a segment on it, and I think I did another segment on it before. All right. It ain't going away anytime soon. All right. And by next year, so-called 2026, a lot could happen between now and then. Ain't no telling what major event or even a catastrophe this 3i Atlas thing may lead to. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll let the Lord, the Most High Himself, do the rest of the talking, do the rest of the guidance with this thing. We'll just have to wait and see. A lot could happen with this thing between now and then, among other things that Esau has installed. All right. Okay. A lot could happen, man. All right. All right. So I'm going to keep reading on. Once again, his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Okay? So people are going to be praising the Lord upon his return, especially the elect. Okay? And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Now, when I first learned this scripture, all right, okay, but basically, the one who was reading this scripture, if I remember, all right, it was on High Priest Ariah show. The real Jews are black. I remember. All right, and sometimes he did the reading, and sometimes he had another priest do the reading. All right, the priest, the so-called priest then that did this reading was known as Yeshaya. Okay, all right, and basically the horns coming out of his hand, all right, that's talking about laser beams, all right? That's what that's talking about, all right? The Lord does have the power to literally shoot laser beams out of his physical hands if he wants to. But in this case here, it's talking about him being on the spacecraft. All right? The spacecraft are going to shoot the laser beams, the horns coming out of his hand. That's the metaphorical reference it's making regarding that. So you can understand that's a metaphoric term right there. It's speaking in metaphors. All right? How the Lord is coming back, how he's going to use his vengeance upon these little wicked people down here, how he's going to take down their world and so on. All right? You got to have a spiritual mind to pick up on these things, man. All right? So once again, and his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. All right, before him went the pestilence. Okay, so right now, before his second coming, all right, before his glorious second return, there lies pestilence on this planet Earth right now. Many deadly diseases affecting mankind. A few years ago, we had this so-called pandemic, the C-hip, as brothers call it, right? Everything was shut down, a lockdown because of it. And recently, I heard just yesterday, I was watching a video from the brother Tassa Dakbar, I think is his name, and he's one of the bishop elders in Connecticut, and he has a channel called Disappoint the Wicked. And he did a segment called the Stage is Set for the Next Pandemic. And I saw the whole 50 minutes of that. And basically, he was reading a report from CNN on how a truck how a truck full of infected monkeys literally overturned on the side of a road in Mississippi, and now there's how many infected monkeys running around out there. You know what I'm saying? All right. Ain't no telling what may come out of that. So there is the pestilence. All right? That's the pestilence that the scripture is making reference to. Not just that pestilence, many other pestilences. Okay? And in the 1980s, there was AIDS, and what was really that? A pestilence. All right? So them pestilences right now ain't going nowhere until the Lord comes back. All right? He cleanses this earth, all right, and liberates this earth free of these deadly pestilences brought forth by the so-called white man. All right? Plain and simple. So before him went the pestilence, and burning coals forth at his feet. He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered, and the perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. Now, right there, when it's talking about everlasting mountains being scattered and the perpetual hills did bow, it's not talking about literally a mountain or mountains being scattered. It's not talking about a literal, a literally, a literal it ain't talking about a hill literally bowing down, man. That is all referencing to people, to governments. Okay? They're going to be scattered. They're going to be afraid. They're going to be scared to death. They're going to be in perplexity. Okay? And they have no other choice but to bow down before the Lord upon his return. Bow down and accept and acknowledge him as the only true power of the planet Earth. All right? The Son of the living power, so you can understand. All right? Okay? That's why it says here the perpetual hills did bow. That's talking about all the people of the planet Earth. Okay? They will bow before his presence. Plain and simple, man. All right? All right? Verse 7, I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. All right? That's talking about how Esau's reign of terror, his tyranny, his present day rulership has basically afflicted all the other nations. All right? How he has enjoyed having the nations under his feet. Okay? Okay, why must every country on the planet Earth have a so-called United States embassy? What's really that all about? Why are there military bases scattered on every country, on every continent of the globe? All right, ask yourself this question. Why are there US military bases scattered about, man? All right? That's why the scripture is saying what it's saying here. All right? So once again, I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Verse 8, was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? That's not talking about literal rivers. Once again, that's talking about, was the Lord displeased against the nations? Okay, because rivers connect to the sea. All right, and the sea connects the continents on the of the planet Earth, so you can understand. All right, there's the Atlantic Sea. I mean, there's the Pacific Ocean and there's the Atlantic Ocean. All right, that's what that's talking about. Was the Lord displeased against uh, how this white man is ruling the planet Earth right now, and these other heathen nations going about their ways, just doing everything at their own free will? All right, was the Lord displeased at them? Oh, you damn right he is. You damn skippy he is. All right? Was thine anger against the rivers? You damn skippy, he's still angry, man. Was thy wrath against the sea that thou didst ride upon thy horses and thy chariots of salvation? So once again, that is referencing to the so-called UFOs, all right? So-called flying saucers, so-called UAPs, whatever they want to call them. It is referencing to how they're coming back, all right? That's why that angel on so-called 3IATLAS manifested himself the way he did. All right? And the so-called white man must be trembling at that image, man. And I told you earlier that angel, that image right there, which so-called Google Images tries to hide and not have the overall public find it, right? All right? Hey, these devils are something, man. You can run, but you can't hide. So once again, the angel is manifesting in that image. All right. It seems to be striking a pose of war. It's a combative form, man. It's ready to make war against this so-called white man and the other nations. All right, and they're coming back to wage war with this white man and free the elect. All right, off the tyranny of this so-called white man once and for all. All right, off the tyranny of this counterfeit kingdom. All right, and hey, they're coming back for that, man. All right? That's why it says here, thy horses and thy chariots of salvation. All right? All right? So verse 9, thy bow was made quite naked, according to the oaths of the tribes, even by thy word, Salah, that thou cleave the earth with rivers. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. The overflowing of the water passed by, and the deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. Okay, so once again, the mountains, that's talking about that's talking about the nations of the planet Earth and its rulers. All right? They're gonna tremble at beholding the magnificent presence of the Lord once he cracks them clouds open, man. Okay? All right, and the last verse right there, and lifted up his hands on high. So once again, when you go back to that image I showed you earlier on the YouTube video, you have to seek that image on a damn YouTube video. You can't find it on Google. All right, the angel's face with the afro spotted on so-called 3IATLAS, that they zoomed in, right? And you see that figure seems to be raising his arm up. All right? That's why the scripture is saying what it's saying, and lift up his hands on high. And once again, I'm going to say that the angel image with the afro on 3IATLAS appears to be in a combative form, man. All right, it's making a pose of ready for war, so you can understand. You take a very good look at it, and it does look like a combative form, man. All right, whether you care to believe it or not, you believe or think what you want to think or believe. All right, I'm gonna keep reading on. Verse 11: the sun and moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and the shining of thy glittering spear. Okay? That's talking about the Lord is coming back in the midst of World War III when the nuclear missiles finally get fired. Okay? And that's another metaphoric term, all right, for the missiles right there. Because they appear to look like large arrows. All right, the giant rockets of destruction, known as thermonuclear weapons, man. All right, or thermonuclear missiles, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that's why it says what it says here. All right, verse 12: thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou did thresh the heathen in anger. All right, so the Lord is coming back in anger. All right, once again, getting back to the little man with the afro image on 3IATLAS. All right, That is not suggesting, a friendly encounter right there. That's suggesting, war. Okay, you take a good look at that image, and that angel is striking a pose of war. Okay, and I can't be wrong about this, man. All right, okay. So the Lord is coming back, marching with indignation in this land that they call United States of America, and this so-called world. All right, the white man's world, so you can understand. He's coming back to topple down this so-called white supremacy and white power structure. Okay, and less than 1 hour with indignation. All right, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Isaiah 16, Isaiah 60, all right, and the 15th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right, okay, thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thresh the heathen in anger. Verse 13, thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. All right? That's talking about this so-called white man. All right? The current the current so-called president in the White House right now, and these new policies that he's pushing out. Okay? This so-called government shutdown. Okay, the so-called SNAP benefits or food stamps getting shut down, making many poor people upset and angry and losing their minds. All right, that's what that's talking about. All right, verse 15, thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses, through the heap of great waters. All right, because these so-called UFOs, the chariots of the Most High, so you can understand. People have There have been videos and reports of people seeing these spaceships, all right, come in and out of the sea as well, man. Okay, James Cameron, all right, the very famous filmmaker James Cameron of Titanic, all right, and Avatar fame, he showed you that in this little 1989 movie called The Abyss. And what was The Abyss really all about? It was about spaceships being underwater, man. All right, that's what that's what that movie was about. All right, okay, look that movie up on DVD, a Blu-ray, or on a streaming platform somewhere. It's called The Abyss. Okay? All right. Verse 16. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. All right. So the prophet Habakkuk said that his belly trembled and his lips quivered. All right, and hearing the voice of the Lord, and witnessing the judgment and destruction that he will bring to this current society. All right, rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. Right, that the rest, Lord willing, of the elect of the Lord may rest. All right, may be delivered in the day of trouble, man. All right, the day of whose trouble? Jacob's trouble. All right, right now we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. All right, Nero Trump wanting to send troops on every ghetto now, on every city. Okay, Okay, we have a so-called Arab, a Middle Eastern fellow that's getting ready to become the next mayor of this great New York City. All right, and that alone could bring a lot of chaos and trouble to this city, man, because Trump has already said that if this Arab guy becomes mayor, all right, he's gonna send them U.S. troops in, man. All right, he's gonna send them good old green berets, so you can understand. All right, he's gonna send the National Guard over here, man. All right, and he's gonna give these troops the license to shoot to kill. All right, shoot and kill at will. All right, any nigger that tries to defy or confront these troops, all right, is gonna get iced right on the spot. All right, plain and simple, man. That's what's coming. All right, that's what's coming. Okay, so that's the day of trouble there for you. All right. All right, and I'm going to finish up. And when he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. Okay, now who's that talking about? All right, now I just mentioned Trump, Nero Trump, right, and how he's sending his troops to all these major cities. All right, that's another way to look at it or interpret this scripture. But the main reference it's making here is upon the Lord's second return and his own troops. All right? The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Okay? Even thousands of angels. Okay? Plain and simple, man. That's what's coming. All right? Okay, now. Matthew 24. Let's go there real quick. All right. I might finish up on that. All right. All right. So this is Matthew 24, and I'm going to read off the third verse. Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? The end of the world, the end of whose world? The end of Esau's world, the world of the so called white man, so you can understand. Right now, we are still living under his banner, under his establishment, under his tyranny, under his rulership, under his oppression, under his bigotry, under his hatred towards us. All right? So that's whose world is being referenced here. All right? And Jesus, so called Jesus, his real name is Yahushai, answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. So right now, we're in that time right now. All right? All throughout the years, there have been wars and rumors of wars. And now it is really, now things are really starting to heat up. Now more than ever. All right? Now more than ever, these rumors of wars are heating up. The spiritual drums of war are really beating up this time, man. All right? See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. All right? Nation rise against nation. Now, all right? Who are the two? Who are the so-called superpowers on the planet Earth right now? All right, there's United States and Russia. Okay, United States and Russia, the two, the so-called superpowers of the planet Earth. They have the most nuclear weapons. All right, and they're the ones that are going to lead this world. All right, and to it becoming toast, so you can understand. All right, no matter how many treaties they have signed over the years and so on, so-called diplomatic talks. All right, all of that would still be in vain. Them missiles will still get shot. All right, them missiles will still get shot. All right. So right now we have Esau ruling the planet Earth, and Jacob is under him, under his domain. But Jacob is getting ready to rise up in these last days and defy and withstand Esau. Okay? In Genesis 25, the Lord told Rebekah, if I'm not mistaken, all right, the mother of Esau and Jacob, the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb. Two nations. All right? Two different, not just two brothers, two different manner of people, two nations. Okay? So Esau is really another nation of people, and Jacob is another. And they will go to war in these last days. They will have a combat, and a civil war, race war, whatever. There will be a major confrontation. All right, kingdom against kingdom. All right. Well, I mentioned United States, Russia. all these other countries and so on, a so-called NATO, starting to dislike so-called America and so on. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All right. And there shall be famines. All right. I made a brief mention of so called SNAP. Oh, SNAP being cut off. All right. So if this so called government shutdown continues, all right, ain't no more benefits gonna rule out. All right. A lot of niggers are gonna start, they're gonna go hungry. They're gonna be starving, man. Many other people. All right. Especially if they don't have the fear of the Lord in them. The Lord is going to let these people rot, man. He's going to let them starve to death. All right. That's why it says here, there shall be famines and pestilences. I mentioned them monkeys a little while ago, and earthquakes. Not that long ago, there was an earthquake somewhere. I forgot in what part of the world it was. All right. There was an earthquake. I did hear I did hear of a hurricane or a storm, or was that an earthquake that hit Jamaica? All right, okay, Jamaica got seriously hurt. All right, Jamaica is in ruins right now. All right, it's in total ruins. All right, that's why the Lord said what He said here. All right, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right? And they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations. Salakia. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. That's that so called persecution that's coming. All right? Esau under Nero Trump is getting ready to come down hard on the men of the Lord, of those that devote to trying to do this work, but pushing this word out. All right. Have I become your enemy for telling you the truth? All right. So Esau is an enemy of this truth. He is not about truth. He's about lies. All right. That's why he's getting ready to abolish the Bible, but make the Bible illegal. He's going to try and make criminals out of the men of the Lord, make fugitives out of them. All right. He's going to try and put brothers and put them behind bars and even execute some of them. But the Spirit of the Lord is getting ready to uplift a standard as mentioned in Isaiah 59 and 19. All right. And the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. When the enemy shall come in as a flood, all right, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. All right, okay. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's the world that we live in now. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness, unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right? So throughout these past 20 years, all right, Since Great Millstone became known on YouTube, all right, and they started becoming more popular and famous among their people watching, among other people watching, all right. Many other brothers followed suit and began setting up their own camps, and this word was being pushed more broadly out forth for on the internet, by way of the internet. People living in other countries, that's how they had access to this truth. So we're in that time now where the end is closer than ever, because this word has already gone out for all the corners of the world. All right, the word has already been pushed. All right, the word has already been pushed, and much of the elect of the 144,000 have already been gathered. All right, so the time of the end is fastly approaching. All right, it could be next year, it could be the year after that, but it's close, man. All right, all we have to do is, keep enduring, like I just read there. Keep enduring with the best of our ability up to the end, and hopefully the Lord will have mercy and save us in that day, man. All right, because the end is a lot closer than ever before now. All right, the hourglass is running quick on Esau, the so-called white man, and he knows that, man. All right. So with that, I hope you have been edified. Shalom.